It's going to be a big summer for Zach LaVine. After earning his second All-Star nod and helping the Bulls back to the playoffs for the first time in 4 years, LaVine is arguably going to be the most sought-after free agent of the offseason, and he's looking forward to it.
I plan to enjoy free agency with what it is in a whole. I think you're going to have to experience A through Z as decisions. I think that's something that me and Rich get to go through and experience.
That's not exactly what Bulls fans were hoping to hear. But the 27-year-old is at a pivotal point in his career, entering his prime, and although the Bulls just enjoyed their best season since LaVine landed in Chicago a half-decade ago, it's hard to see them becoming a championship contender anytime soon. They may be decent moving forward, but LaVine has a chance to explore his options this offseason and better position himself to win a ring, and he'd be foolish not to take it. At first glance, you might think the Bulls are in a pretty good spot. They started out the season on fire, going 23-10, and had the second best record in the East heading into 2022. DeMar DeRozan, their key addition last offseason, put up his best season in years, maybe in his career. They just made the playoffs for the first time since 2017. And if it weren't for the injury bug catching up to second-year defensive stopper Patrick Williams and newly signed two-way guards Alex Caruso and Lonzo Ball, their defense would have been one of the strongest in the league like it was for the first month of the season. And LaVine was also dealing with a nagging knee injury himself, which caused him to miss 15 games and limit his effectiveness and explosiveness in Chicago's first-round loss to the Bucks. There are plenty of reasons for LaVine to look at his circumstances surrounding the Bulls last season and think, why not just run it back? But also, let's look forward to the future. This summer, the Bulls can offer LaVine a 5-year max contract worth $212 million. In those 5 years, how can the Bulls become championship contenders? DeRozan is about to turn 33 years old, and who knows if he has another season like he just had in him. Nikola Vucevic is 31 and showed some serious signs of slowing down last season. Among players to attempt 500 jumpers in the 2021-2022 season, Vucevic had the 5th worst effective field goal percentage at 44.7%, down almost 8% from the year prior. His three-point percentage dropped significantly too, from 40% a year ago to 31% last season, the 7th largest decrease in the past 2 seasons, according to ESPN Stats and Info. Meanwhile, LaVine's backcourt mate Ball hasn't played more than 65 games in a season once in his 5-year career. And there's reportedly some serious concern within the Bulls front office about Ball's current knee injury and his rehab process. And outside of Williams and rookie guard Ayo Dosunmu, the Bulls don't have much budding young talent to pair with LaVine moving forward. They also don't have many future first-round draft picks available, which makes it increasingly difficult for them to add any picks to trades to potentially improve their roster. Not to mention, they struggled versus the top dogs in each conference, going 0-19 in the regular season against the top 3 teams in the East and West. The truth is, even if the Bulls re-sign LaVine, they're stuck in a bit of a hamster wheel situation. Never bad enough to bottom out, and never good enough to truly contend. So, what options does LaVine have? Well, via free agency, he can sign with any team for up to 4 years and roughly $160 million. Well, any team with the requisite cap space, that is. The catch is, not many teams this year currently have a max slot open, and it's highly unlikely LaVine would ditch Chicago for one of Indiana, Detroit, or Orlando. There are 2 teams, however, with cap space that could make things intriguing: the Portland Trail Blazers and San Antonio Spurs. With the Blazers, the idea is simple. Damian Lillard needs help, and LaVine is almost exactly what the doctor ordered. Similar to how CJ McCollum complimented Lillard on offense, LaVine could do much of the same, except he's a few years younger and much more explosive. But we've already seen an offensive-minded backcourt in Portland struggle to get over the hump, and LaVine isn't necessarily known for his defensive prowess. San Antonio, on the other hand, could offer LaVine an even more intriguing future. The Spurs have a 25-year-old defensive-minded point guard in DeJounte Murray, who just made his first All-Star team. And they have a bevy of other talents in big man Jakob Poeltl and 4th-year forward Keldon Johnson, who's due for a breakout campaign. Add LaVine to a team that accidentally made the play-in this season, and the Spurs could become dangerous. Not to mention, LaVine grew close with Greg Popovich during the 2021 Olympics in Tokyo. Outside of the Blazers and the Spurs, any other team that would be interested in LaVine's talents this summer would have to either make max room for him or acquire him via sign and trade. Could the Lakers find a way to get rid of the final year on Russell Westbrook's massive $47 million contract? It's possible, and I'd assume they'd be more than willing to give up the only first-round picks they have remaining in 2027 and 2029 to get it done. LaVine would be a seamless fit with the Lakers, and he did spend his college days in Southern California playing for the Bruins, so never say never. Another potentially interesting destination could be the Dallas Mavericks, who would instantly become legitimate contenders in the West by adding LaVine's scoring punch beside Luka Doncic. The Mavs need to pay unrestricted free agent Jalen Brunson this summer, so that may complicate things money-wise. But if they did decide to let him walk, they do have the salaries needed in Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans to attach to make a sign-and-trade for LaVine happen. The list doesn't stop there. Could the Hawks make a run for LaVine? The Knicks? The Heat? At the end of the day, that's the beauty of free agency. LaVine has a say in where he wants to go and how he wants the third chapter of his career to play out. He's good enough to the point where teams will make the room even if they don't have it if LaVine goes that route. And with the Bulls seemingly stuck in no man's land for the foreseeable future, it's in his best interest to look elsewhere. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button.